In today's video, I'm going to talk about something a little bit different, and I've been getting this question a lot. Dan, do you do psychedelics? Do you microdose? Have you ever taken DMT? That's what I'm going to cover in this video. But I just want to let you know that generally, I think drugs are bad, okay? Drugs are bad. The point is, subscribe, smash the like button, and let's get on with the video.
Hi, I'm Dan Henry. I used to deliver pizza and sell water bottles to pay my rent. Then I discovered entrepreneurship and grew a $20 million online business. Subscribe to my channel and I'll show you how.
Okay, so I made a post on my social media recently because, and look, I'm not an expert on psychedelics. I'm in the research phase, but I thought I would make this video because I want to historically document where I'm at when I'm like thinking about it and I'm researching it. And then maybe if I ever decide to take that path, I can look back on the video and go, wow, this is where my thinking was prior to this. So I've met, and listen, nobody's going to tell you this. People are going to want to preserve their brand. They're going to want to preserve their ego and their image, and I just don't care. I've already made my wealth. I'm here to help people. If you don't like the fact that I smoke weed or whatever, well, peace. I don't really give a crap, because you don't buy my stuff because I smoke weed and I openly talk about it. It doesn't matter to me. So I have met a lot of people who have done psychedelics that are high-level business people. In fact, I've probably met more people that are high-level success people, however you want to call it, that have done psychedelics than that haven't. And I'm not saying that that is like a good sample size, you know, maybe it's just my circle, or maybe it's just, I don't know, like this is not a scientific study here, but almost everyone that is a high performer that I've met that has achieved something that most people have not achieved, you know, built an amazing company, become a crazy successful influencer or author. Most of them that I've met have done some sort of psychedelic, whether that be magic mushrooms, whether that be DMT, whether that be ayahuasca. They've done something and they've had amazing breakthroughs. And I want you to keep in mind here, before you get all judgmental on me, that psychedelics are really not meant to be taken as a party drug or recreationally. Idiots take them recreationally, okay? People go out and get drunk and eat magic mushrooms, and they're not respecting what psychedelics are. And you're definitely not supposed to drink and do psychedelics. The people that take psychedelics seriously, from my research, are people that want to have breakthroughs, people that want to have healing, people that want to overcome things like depression and anxiety, or be more creative. That's why people do it. So when I say I meet high-level entrepreneurs that have done this at a very, you know, something that I keep hearing over and over again, that's what they're doing. They're not just partying, okay? So it's not like we get rich and we're like, yeah, we want to party, man, let's eat some shrooms. That's not what this is. It even goes to show you that if you look at science right now and what science is doing with psychedelics, they're actually running clinical trials where they're finding that people who have taken every drug known to man, they've been to therapy, and they just can't fix their depression or their anxiety or whatever issues they have, they're able to fix it on psychedelics. Now, I'm not saying you should or should not do psychedelics now or anytime in this video or ever. I'm simply saying this is what I've been researching. This is what has been my experience, is that, you know, psychedelics are being taken more seriously by the scientific and medical community for their healing properties, and that a very large share of the amount of people I meet that are successful at some point have done or are considering doing ayahuasca, DMT, some sort of psychedelic. People that I've met that haven't, they're generally religious, and so that is something that would be preventing them from doing it. Not necessarily that they just don't want to do it, though there are all those people too. So why would somebody who is a high-level person take psychedelics? Well, I can just tell you my perspective. Number one, I've seen that archaic thinking absolutely can drown a person in mediocrity and just kill progress. I mean, if you look, I saw a newspaper clipping the other day from like a long time ago when scientists were coming out and claiming that the earth was round. This was back when everybody thought the earth was flat. They're claiming that the earth was round, and we're putting them in prison for it, right? We're arresting them as we move forward, we find out that the earth is round. So that lesson right there goes to show you that we really shouldn't discount anything. You know, people say that, oh, you know, the war on drugs. There was never a war on drugs. It was a war on personal freedom. Let's just get that out of the way, okay? Marijuana is going to be legal in all 50 states very soon. It's already been proven that marijuana is you know, this whole, it's a gateway drug and all that. That was all propaganda by people who just wanted to put out that sort of content to convince people that it was a gateway drug or what have you, because they just didn't like it or it went against their religious beliefs or their political beliefs or whatever. I've been smoking marijuana for years. I smoke weed every single day, and never once have I said, I want to do cocaine, crack, meth, heroin. Never, ever, ever, ever have I even had an inkling to do that. And everybody that I've met that smokes weed, most of them, they're fine just smoking weed. The whole gateway thing is ridiculous. But the point here is that we need to always question our thinking, right? So I say to myself, because look, I'm not a very spiritual person. I've always been, for the most part, against any drug other than weed. And when I say against, it's just not my preference to do. Because I'm not that much of a partier where I do that kind of thing. I don't even smoke weed to party. I do it for more medicinal purposes. And I barely drink anymore. So the point here is that I let that kind of thinking restrict me from even opening my mind to the possibility of doing psychedelics, because I was thinking of it in a party way, and I'm not going to do that. But then as I started to research it, and as I started to meet other high-level entrepreneurs that were like doing that and using it to have breakthroughs, I was like, okay, maybe I should take a second look at this. And then when I actually gave myself the opportunity to research it, I found that there is a medicinal purpose for it. Scientists are using it. People are having amazing results with microdosing, which is basically where instead of taking a gram or more of magic mushrooms, which is the psychoactive ingredient in magic mushroom is psilocybin, they're taking like a fraction, like 0.1%, or 0.1 grams. And it's not enough to do any sort of, I mean, I guess you could microdose to a point from what I've read where you can see vivid colors and whatnot, but essentially it allows you to be more creative and focus more, and it just opens your mind more, and it allows you to, as one of my friends described it, it's the closest thing you will get to whatever them people were doing in the movie Limitless. And I know that sounds kind of weird and kind of scary, but I at least started doing research on it. And then I started doing research on things like DMT. And DMT is basically one of the most potent psychoactive substances known to man. And what that allows you to do essentially is experience death inside the brain without dying. Depending on how much you take, and if you do the full breakthrough trip, it allows you to have complete loss of ego death. So you experience hallucinations, but from what I've read, you experience a loss of sense of self and identity. I can't really wrap my brain around it, even though I'm trying, but it takes you to another place and essentially allows you to experience what it's like when you die. And so that way you don't fear death, because you know what it's like. And apparently it's beautiful. And it's amazing, and it's just full of love. And I know this sounds very hippie-ish, and believe me, I'm right there with Cartman. I hate hippies! Goddamn hippie!
Whoa, dude! No!
But the point is that I'm trying to open my mind more to things that I was so against for so many years. Currently, my stance on psychedelics is I don't know if I'm ready or ever ready to do something like a full trip on psilocybin or DMT, because it is very scary, and I'm a control freak in my mind, so it may be a less than pleasurable experience for me. And as well, at the end of the day, most people that take it, they say it's basically real, and that's a subjective term, but they basically say that it allows them to experience what death is like. It shows them proof that there's an afterlife, or that we are all part of a source consciousness, and that when we die we still exist, but as a whole consciousness. And it's hard for me to wrap my brain around that. And also I question, is that completely fabricated? Is it a complete hallucination? Or, as some people are claiming, it opens your third eye and allows you to see things that are there, but that our current sensory abilities aren't letting us see. In other words, there is something out there that is more, but we can't see it with the brain. Our brain works. But when we take DMT, which DMT actually naturally exists in your brain and in plants, it's already there. But when you take it and you make more release, you are able to see more of what's there? Or is it a complete hallucination? I haven't come to the conclusion either way on that. And if it's a complete hallucination, not sure I want to do it. But as well, keep in mind that there is a precedent set for the belief that you actually are seeing more. Because people throughout history have done DMT and ayahuasca, and they've explained seeing similar things, seeing elf-like creatures. And basically scientists are saying, well, we have to at least open our minds to the possibility that what they're seeing is real, because they're all describing the same thing. And for other scientific things that are beyond my scope of understanding. So where I'm at currently is I don't know if I'm going to take psychedelics. I really, really don't. I am going to microdose. I've already made that decision that I'm going to try microdosing. So I guess technically that's taking psychedelics, but it's a totally different type of thing. And I'll see how that goes. But I'm just not sold yet on the full experience. And I've been doing my due diligence. I've been reaching out to people who have experience with it. I've been reaching out. I've been doing research. I've been looking at everything from spiritual healer people that wear weird clothing and make beads, all the way to renowned scientists that do extensive research on psychedelics and DMT. If I ever decide to do it, maybe I'll look back on this video and tell myself that I was overthinking it, which I probably am. But keep in mind, I am absolutely not condoning the use of any drug that is illegal or controlled substance without properly getting prescribed it or any of that. I am advocating, though, that we push to decriminalize at least drugs that are natural and that are proven to have or beginning to be proven to have medicinal effects, and not just banning them because we say it's bad because our parents said it's bad, or our pastor said it's bad, or the Republican dude on TV said it's bad, and we think for ourselves and we try to expand our minds past what we think is or is not bad, and we explore that more. So that's the way I view it. So that's where I'm at. You know, should I do psychedelics? I don't know yet. I am going to start microdosing, but we will see. I'll let you guys know, and I just want to make sure nobody thinks I'm condoning the use of psychedelics. I'm simply sharing my thoughts with you on where I'm at. And the only reason I got interested in it was because so many of my friends, acquaintances, and people I meet that are high-level entrepreneurs that aren't religious have had some sort of experience with it, and it just made me think, okay, well, maybe I should open my mind to at least looking into it. So anyway, that's where I'm at, and if you guys like hearing me share my thoughts on things like this, let me know in the comments, or if you think this was just a complete waste of time and all I did was rant and ramble and had no coherency to this entire video, let me know, and I'll stop making videos like this, and I'll just smoke my weed in peace. All right, guys, I'll see y'all in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe. One more thing I want to add to this psychedelic conversation. This is the next day. See, haircut. I will say that in researching psychedelics, it has made me a better person just in the journey of researching them, because listening to so many people's profound transformations when they have this experience, basically them saying, you know, I realized what was important in life because I realized how silly everything is, and how things that make me angry and that I get all bent out of shape about aren't really that important, and what's important is my family and the people I love. Just hearing that over and over again really has helped me kind of share that sentiment, even though I haven't gone through that experience yet. And I'm sure there's other things other than psychedelics that can make you feel that way, but I don't believe that every journey with psychedelics has to end in doing psychedelics. Maybe my journey ends with psychedelics choosing not to do them, or choosing only to microdose or whatever. But you know, the journey of researching them and the journey of researching the spiritual end of it and all that still has given me a positive outcome. And so I'm grateful for what it's done so far, even without taking them. So I just wanted to share that and add that as well.